It's an alleged story.
Okay, disclaimer at the beginning of the video. This is all alleged, and none of this can be confirmed or denied, so...
You can't prove shit.
You can't prove nothing. Alright, so, what's up? It's Stank Tank, back with another video. You might hear some people in the background. I'll try to dim that down, but we have company over, and I just needed to film. Today I have a bit of a story that could get me in trouble, and I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say this out loud. But just so everybody knows, this is over. I am no longer doing these activities. It's over. Don't come for me. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. So this is the story of how I became a drug dealer. Not a big one, but I did in fact deal drugs for a source of income for an amount of time. And that's what this video is going to be about. Again, allegedly. Don't come for me. Don't hurt me. Not me. No. Don't touch me. My mom had just went to the hospital. I had just wrecked my car. I was working a job, and I just didn't have the money to pay all the things I needed to pay. I had a deductible from my insurance company for wrecking my car and all this stuff. And, you know, push came to shove, and I just didn't have the money. So I was talking to my buddy about it and kind of complaining to him and talking to him about it. And he had brought up the idea to me of selling drugs. And I had thought about it before, and I knew that he did it. And I just didn't know how I felt about it. Oh, wow, I'm doing this all with the Horde logo. Just so everybody knows again, this company here, which is a small pig farm company in Ohio, had nothing to do with this. They knew nothing about this. And just don't come for them or me. This is all alleged. It's a story. It's over. Don't come for me or them. Friends. We see each other. Just be nice. We talked. He said that I could easily make $100 a week. You know, just take a little bit of weed, pack it up in smaller, you know, take this so much weed, put it into smaller amounts, sell that for more than what it's worth, and blah, 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 whatever you paid it for, you buy in bulk, you get better deals, and you can make money. So I said, okay, put together a little bit of money that I had and bought half an ounce of weed. Again, allegedly. I sold my first ounce. I sold my first half ounce and made about $100. And I was like, okay, it took about 2 weeks. You know, starting out, you don't make that much money. This is not a guide to sell drugs. Okay, I'm not putting that as the title. Okay, this is not a guide to sell drugs. This is my story of when I did. So don't come for me. I'm not trying to teach people. This is just my story. Leave me alone. I got through my first couple ounces. About a month passed, maybe, I don't know, $500-600 in a month, which, I mean, an extra $500 a month isn't terrible, especially starting out. And I think my parents. I was living with my parents at the time. I'm still living with my parents, but back then, you know, I'm in church and I play music in churches, and you could physically see that I was having some trouble in church, and a lot of my time was taken up by this. So instead of hanging out with my family or doing church functions, I had to go run a galleon. And my cover story is that I was flipping things for profit. So like buying a, let's say, I actually do that. This is a helmet that I have. It's a Georgia helmet. I bought it for like $150 and I have it up for $200. I had an offer for $180 and I'm gonna make $30 off of it. I still do that now to make some money. And I was doing it back then, so it was a good cover story. I just told them I had an influx in revenue from that little thing I had going. Eventually, they kind of caught on to like, well, we never see the stuff that he has. We never meet the people. They never come here. He always travels. And it got to the point where, you know, I cornered the market of mobile, which means that I was the guy that would drive to you or meet you halfway. Most of the time, sometimes I was lazy and I didn't want to, and people would come to me, but that's how I got my business out there. So I got to this house and I was in the driveway, and me and my uncle were sitting there. I call him uncle. He's not really my uncle. It's a long story. He was a drug dealer, and he's the guy that kind of taught me the ropes and kind of got me some business too. So I was sitting there with an ounce of weed, and I had no idea who was in the house. And a girl came out, looked at it. We waited out for her, gave her half an ounce. She bought it from me. She went back in the house, and then we heard some gunshots. She ran out, got in my car, and we had to leave. That was what really knocked me out of that. Like, sitting there, not knowing what's happening, hearing gunshots with, like, and then there were cops driving by, so they heard the gunshots, and I still have half an ounce of weed in my car. And, I mean, 3 ounces is what you need for it to be a felony and for you to get any jail time. Anything under that is just a $200 ticket. But at any rate, I can still lose my job. I can still lose my family. I can still do things. that affect me with that, and that's what really knocked me out of it. I still did it a little bit after that, because what happened was I needed some money quick for other reasons that I'm not going to get into in this video. I took my last $200, which didn't put a dent in what I needed, and put it together with my uncle's thing, and I was pretty much going to make $1,000 in about 3 weeks, if I did this right. And it ended up being that I gave him my last $200, and then I had no money for rent, and I had no money for my car payment, and it turned into, hey, holy crap, I gotta sell this really quick and kind of just break even so I can pay my bills. And that's what I ended up having to do. I took my last quarter and sold it, and paid my car payment barely, and was able to pay my insurance and everything I needed to pay. And here's what I'm trying to say with all this, is my whole life I've been trying, and preface here, I'm only 19, so in the past 2 years I've been trying to figure out what I want to do, and this is one of those things, and I'm kind of just shotgunning it, and I'm hitting a bunch of things and seeing what sticks and what I can do. But one of those things I tried was drug dealing, and I just really wanted to make this video, one, because it's a good story, and two, just to tell people that it's not needed, that you don't need to do anything like that. Like, I mean, I have a bunch of other stories. Like, I had to travel 30 minutes to another town to drop off 2 ounces. It wasn't worth it, but I needed the money. I made with the gas maybe $5 off of that. But like, especially whenever you first start out, if you don't have a bunch of extra income to buy product, you just are fighting to break even, because then you have to lower your prices to get rid of it to pay your bills. And especially around smaller towns, which is, I lived in a smaller town. You had to sell at smaller prices. Everybody was doing 10 a G. 10 a G, which is 10 a gram. $10 a gram was what everybody was doing. That's everybody, 10 a gram. And I had better stuff, so I was selling it at 15, and I was able to make 50% more than everybody else, which made my profit margin more. But only certain people will pay 15 a G, because, you know, obviously, if you have $30, right? If it's 10 a G, you get 3 Gs. 35 is usually an eighth. Yeah, so $30 on 15 a G only gets you 2 Gs. People didn't like that. They didn't like not being able to just spend $5 extra, get an eighth, and they get 3.5 Gs. I couldn't sell. So I tried to corner the mobile high-end market. There was no mobile high-end market, especially in the town I was in. Everybody, 10 a G or nothing. They didn't care. So, yeah, I mean, there are always other ways. I make more money flipping stuff than I ever did selling weed. I'm sure there's money in it at a higher level, like the guy that helped me out and showed me the ropes. I mean, I would see him spend $2,000 and in 3 weeks turn into $10,000. So, I mean, I've seen those types of numbers, and it is possible, but it's just not worth it. I mean, the risk is he has a pound of weed in his house at any given moment. And he sells wax, which is marijuana wax that you can put in like dab pens and stuff like that. He has that all the time, and that's not even, there's no amount that's not a felony. If you have 1 ounce of wax on you, it's a felony. So he's taking risks. He used to sell coke and everything else. So he's taking a risk, and it's just not worth it at the end of the day. For all the stress, for minimal amounts of money. I mean, unless you're at a high level, you're not making that much money to not just work your 9 to 5 and find another side gig. There are plenty of ways to find other side gigs. I'll probably make a video on that too, because I found a bunch. So, you know, that's pretty much the preface of this video is, don't sell drugs. There are always other opportunities. There are always other ways to make money, and don't be stupid. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch. Right now my name on there is twitch.tv/TIV556. It'll soon be changed, but I'll let you guys know whenever that happens. Go follow me over there. I have a camera and some stuff coming, and I'm going to start streaming some games, just talking, doing some music stuff, because I play some instruments. So go follow me there. Thanks for watching. Peace.